Welcome to Life on Mute.
Hi, guys.
We are ill prepared.
Yes, we are. But it's our first episode. You know, we're doing our best. Well, yeah, we're going to be on YouTube. We're going to try to expand our voice to as many programs as we can. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you know, YouTube. We're also going to be on YouTube. Just our audio for the moment. I'm not sure if we're going to do any video or not, but you could definitely still listen to us on YouTube as well. We also have an email where you could send us suggestions if you have questions, or if you have a fun, cool story you want to share. We're going to be sharing a lot of stories here. Our email is lifeonmutepodcast@gmail.com. So you could send us anything of all the above that I've just mentioned. But I'm not sure if we've already introduced ourselves. My name's Marlena.
And my name is Kevin.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to our podcast. We'll talk about everything from oranges to space shuttles.
Space shuttles, huh?
Yeah. How do you feel about billionaires going to space?
I mean, they have the money to do it.
But should they?
If they want to do that, that's on them. I mean, I don't care too much about it. They could do a lot of things I can't do, that's for sure. Did Elon Musk end up going?
I don't know. No, his car's floating around up there.
His what?
His car.
His car?
Yeah, he did it for a Super Bowl commercial. They fired his car. Now his car's just floating out there in space.
Like a legit sized car?
Yeah, it's a Tesla. It's his I think the Sportster. I think it's a Sportster model. It's just floating out there. It's red. A red Tesla is just floating out in space.
It's not like a full size car?
Yeah, it's in orbit.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Elon Musk's Starlink satellites are going to be, I think they're already out there or something like that, but basically they're going to be able to provide internet access to everyone around the globe. So he's pretty much giving internet access to everybody. No matter what village you're in or what part of the world you live in, you're going to have internet access.
When is that supposed to happen, though?
I think next year.
Really?
Yeah. There's a business bundle, too. That is very steep in price, but I imagine, oil rigs and stuff would be using it. I don't think they get to watch funny YouTube videos when you're working on an oil rig, but now you're going to be able to.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. Well, I guess we'll find out if that happens or not.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I saw something recently. It's brand new that's out.
Tell me about it.
NFTs. Do you understand it?
No. It's just an internet picture, and for some reason it has value.
I don't get it.
I think it's a scam. I think it's a big scam.
I really don't get it.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to get it. It's just goofy. It's a weird little thing that people have created.
Am I too old? Is this how it feels to be old enough to where you don't know what's going on anymore?
Nah, you're a millennial. You're in the middle of the pack.
I mean,
you know enough about technology that you're not like living like a boomer. You can use your phone. You don't have to post on Facebook every day with little minion memes, as the boomers do.
I don't think boomers know what memes are exactly.
Oh, they use them.
But that's what I mean. Like, are these like, am I like the boomer and this is like the meme that I don't understand the NFT thing? Because it's like, I don't get it. It's like a monkey?
Yeah.
Are they all monkeys?
I feel like it's money laundering.
Money laundering.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like how you get clean money, right? You buy art, and then you resell it, and you have a reason for having that money, right? I mean, it kind of shows now, okay, well, this is where that money came from. It came from expensive art.
Is it considered art?
Yeah.
So it's like...
NFTs are art.
NFTs, right?
Yeah. I have no idea what it means.
I don't...
suppose we could look it up, but...
Well, Well, that's what I mean. I don't really understand it. If you guys want to send us an email and explain to us, dumb it down, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old via
Explain it
email.
like I'm 5.
Like I said, I don't know if this is like the boomer thing where it's like, oh, you know, boomers don't know how to use the internet, or they don't know what a meme is, or don't understand what
Nah,
it
it's
is.
just new. It's just
It's like I
relatively
just
new.
don't understand it.
And it's in the circles of the same people that really invest in cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. It was kind of
Yeah,
it's floating around
Bitcoin.
those circles. So if you're not in those circles, then you wouldn't really know too much about it.
Well, I don't understand the
You're
value
not
of
falling
it.
behind. You don't understand the value because nobody understands the value. It's just a picture of a cartoon
Monkey.
monkey, and it sells for billions somehow. But you know what? I got myself a free copy of it. Control C. I just copy pasted it to my background on my computer. I own an NFT.
I guess.
I'm an investor.
What a liar! You don't have anything saved on your computer.
But the point is, I could.
I'm
A
sure
good
that
old Control C.
I'm pretty sure there's probably something on there where it doesn't let you do that. There's certain websites
No.
where it doesn't let you copy like pictures.
Yeah, but there's always a way around it.
I don't know.
It's a computer.
Well, I don't.
You can do anything.
I don't know.
There's pirating. You can watch any old show you want to watch. You don't want to pay the for all these new streaming services that we have. Well, Pirate Bay was a thing.
What?
I'm sure there's a new one out there. I don't know.
Pirate Bay?
Pirate Bay, yeah. It's where
I've
you
never
go
heard of it.
download any movie, anything you wanted. And I'm not condoning such actions. That's very illegal to do. So just a disclaimer for the lawyers who are typing up their summons right now. I do not condone any illegal activities. However, if you know of a good pirating website, go ahead and send us an email.
Shut up! I don't. You're trying to get us in trouble.
No, but it's I feel like it's the same thing with these NFTs. Like I can't imagine how it actually has value because I can copy it, I can make it, and then can I sell it? I don't understand. I don't know. Don't really know how it works.
I wonder if it costs money to make one. It has to, right?
I don't know.
It has to.
I mean, somebody had to draw it.
To me, it kind of reminds me.
Make it.
It reminds me of those like those little avatar things where it's like there's like a base monkey, and then you could just put a wig on it and glasses and then a gold chain and then make it, and then you sell it for $1,000 or whatever. I don't know. It looks like very basic, and then everyone's just adding, instead of this guy's monkey with a brown wig, I'm gonna make mine pink with a pink wig with glasses and a gold chain. So it's mine. It's unique.
It's unique to you.
Like it's the same.
Out of the 36 choices you had for hats,
I know.
you chose the pink one.
It's the same pixie cut hair. It's just a different color or something. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't get it.
It's weird.
Send us an email. Explain it to me. Explain it to us.
Help. No, but I don't know. There's a lot. Have you ever seen the Xbox avatars?
No.
Xbox 360 or Xbox Live avatars?
No.
The classic monkey. That's what it kind of reminds me of. There's a.
It reminds me of Gorillaz.
Oh,
the
that's
band.
true. Yeah.
Ha, ha.
Yeah, I know it.
But that's what it reminds me of. I don't know. It's because you know how they have different. Obviously, they're kind of look like a monkey, but also kind of human. That's what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you make it into a different animal?
No, impossible. It's illegal.
Okay, I'm tired of talking about this now. I mean, how much could I say about something that I don't really know?
A lot. That's what politicians do. They have a full job, a full career doing it.
I guess that's true.
This is the part of the podcast where we talk about politics.
No.
Oh, religion.
No.
Oh.
Touchy, touchy.
Oh, okay. No banned dinner subjects then. Those are the things you're not supposed to talk about with your in-laws.
Well, what? Okay, you know what? Another thing I don't really get, which you might know more
Tell me about it.
of, Bitcoin. Because
No.
it's supposed to be like a big. It's supposed to be get growing or crypto. Are they different?
Cryptocurrency.
They're different, right? Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, or is it Bitcoin a
Cryp-
type of crypto?
Yes.
Currency.
Yeah. Bitcoin is a type of cryptocurrency.
And cryptocurrency is basically just an electronic. I don't know.
I mean, really, it's money, right? It's money like how your money is, the money in your pocket, right?
Yeah, but it has a different value, I guess.
Yeah, but the values change. That's why you can invest in it. So, like, the value will either grow or decline, whereas, like, the dollar stays the same because supposedly the dollar is based off gold. But, I mean, for whatever that's worth nowadays.
Well, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, what's his name? Made a commercial about cryptocurrency. Matt.
Matt Damon,
Yeah.
the Martian himself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's why they made a space commercial with him. But he's obviously promoting it. I don't really get it. I honestly don't get it. I don't get why people want it to be a bigger thing. I don't get why.
I mean, it's to me, it's fun. It's fun to invest. I don't have anything in it right now, but back in, 3-4 years ago, I had a bunch of coins, and it was kind of fun seeing the money go up and down. I never got heavily into it, but I invested like what I would consider like beer money into it. Like $20 here and there. Like I'll just kind of throw it in and kind of see it, go up and down. And eventually, I had pretty substantial amount just from certain things, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun playing around with currencies and with all the apps and stuff that you use, like Robinhood or Coinbase or whatever. It's kind of fun to just kind of goof around with it.
Well, but I mean, obviously, it's not like something that everyone's using. So it's kind of like only certain people are using it, and it's not like a mandatory thing to use in certain websites or anything like that. I just like, at least for now, for the time now, no one's asking, oh, use cryptocurrency, use Bitcoin.
Oh,
Do this,
that's
don't do that.
that's
to
a
do this.
long ways off.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I don't think there'll ever be. I think more companies, because I think Tesla, you can use Bitcoin to buy a Tesla now. And
Oh.
Elon Musk was joking about allowing like Dogecoin, but Dogecoin has like,
oh my gosh, there's too many things.
that's as fake as it gets. I mean, Dogecoin it's the Doge. You know what the Doge is? The Doge is what is it called? Shiba dog.
What?
It's the little really trim looking dog. I don't know. Looks real cool, but he has a goofy little fun face, and he got turned into a meme. Right? And
Oh, Shiba Inu?
I think so. I don't know the name.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Well,
Yeah,
what
so
about
he
the dog?
got turned into a meme, and then somebody made, they called him the Doge, who was the Doge, and then now there's a Doge coin. There's just a literal meme coin. And not that long ago, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, people were really buying into this Dogecoin, so the price went up. Because the more people are buying into it, the more it's worth. So the price was actually going up, and so some people kind of made a little bit of money off of it. I went to the liquor store, and even the guy behind the counter was like, "Hey, you investing in Dogecoin?" And I'm like, "I don't know if you should, man, but." I don't know if I'm
I've
going to
never
invest
even
in
heard
meme
of it.
stock.
I've never even heard of that. Dogecoin?
Dogecoin? Yeah, because you're not in the circle.
Oh,
Yeah,
excuse me.
It's a very privileged group of crypto
Oh,
investors.
you're so privileged.
Yeah. So you got to get with the times. You're living your boomer lifestyle over here.
I don't know. Sometimes I think I don't know. I like living in my own little world, but also I want to know what's going on half the time. So it's like sometimes I've heard of things, but it's like I just don't know what it is, or I don't know a lot of what it's about.
Got to stay with the times. The world's moving too quickly.
Well, there's a
You
lot of
can't
things.
fall behind.
There's a lot of things to be aware of. It's like, how can you keep track of everything? You can't.
Yeah. I have a little bit of FOMO.
What in particular?
A little fear of missing out.
Yeah, but of what?
Of a lot of things. A lot of things like that.
Of
Like,
Bitcoin
kind of want
and
to...
stuff?
No, not necessarily, but yeah, partly. I don't know, anything new that comes out, they kind of want to look into it slightly, you know? Not too much. I don't want to go crazy over it. You obviously have to take everything, you know, take it a little bit slow, otherwise you're going to have no time in the world. There's a lot of people out there. And the internet has made the world a lot bigger.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how everything's spreading so quickly, obviously. Like it always has. But that's why I'm saying it's so hard to catch up. There's just things just... Once there's a new thing, there's another new thing. It's like... So it's like once you finally get the hang of something else new comes out, and it's like, fuck, like, I can't catch up. At least that's how I feel. I'm
Sure.
only 28. You're 30.
Big 3-0.
Yeah, old man, and I'm the boomer here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're still young. You know, obviously, like I just said, I can't catch up with everything, but it's just like, gosh, like, I can't. Is your money worth more if it's in Bitcoin? Like,
I think your investment is worth more versus your money just sitting there in your bank in your savings account. You know, your bank is only going to pay you so much interest for your money, for them using your money. But like if you invest in something like a Bitcoin or whatever, as long as it doesn't tank, or you buy high and then it tanks, like your money's probably in a better spot. You know, because what's that, $20,000 right now for one? And like I said, I mean, 10 years ago, I heard about it when it was like, you know, $15-20. There was a point where I almost bought it, but it was like my last $20, and I didn't get paid for like a week. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna buy this Bitcoin. And that $20 could have been $20,000 today.
but that's what
Although, you know, you probably would have cashed out around $700 or $800 once it raised up that high, and then I would have been regretting it even more.
But like, okay, let's just say $20. Your cash, right? $20. What is that converted into Bitcoin? Do you know?
No, because one
Is
Bitcoin,
it more or less?
less, because one Bitcoin's $20,000 for one Bitcoin.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so you're
Is that
you're
really?
at a fraction, huh?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's basically like how you're saying, like dollar is supposed to be comparable to gold. So that's like a gold bar compared to my $20 cash.
Yeah, I think a gold bar would be less than one Bitcoin. But there's this guy who has a lot of Bitcoin on a hard drive, and he lost it. He lost the hard drive. It's actually in the dump somewhere. I don't know how, but he's searching through this dump. Every day he goes out there and he searches through this dump because that little hard drive is worth like $300 million. It's worth a ridiculous amount of money, and this guy lost it.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if he bought the dump. I don't know how there's not new trash just being piled on. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know how dumps work. Seems like a waste of space,
It's
but
just a bunch of trash piled on top of a bunch of trash. And then
So
they
he's-
burn it or something, I assume?
I hope so. I don't know. Maybe they just kind of bury it. Who knows? Can't be good for the environment.
I mean, I
But
don't know.
this guy's out there digging through this dump, searching for this little hard drive, this little tiny piece of plastic that's worth $300 million.
Oh my god. How does it get in the trash?
I don't know. I don't
Like
know
you
how
just
he
scoop up
managed
a
to
bunch
lose
of
it.
fucking McDonald's bags off of your computer desk and like cups and fucking Coca-Cola cans, and you just scoop it all up in a group in your hands,
Just
and you just
Mountain Dew.
dump it in the trash. You don't even see what else is on your desk.
He might have. I have no idea how this guy in particular lost it, but he obviously invested a lot into it. Maybe not even a lot. He probably invested, a couple $100 in it when it was worth cents, when it was worth 25 cents each, And he put in a couple $100 and then just forgot about it. And then fast forward, he's like, wait a minute, I have a shit ton of Bitcoin. Where is it? And then come to find out, it got thrown away.
That fucking sucks.
And that sucks for him.
Oh
There's
my
another
God.
guy who can't figure out his password to, I think, his old like Robinhood or Coinbase account or something.
I'm sorry. I don't know what
He
Robinhood
doesn't know
is.
his login information for one of these accounts. So he has something like 22 Bitcoin in one of these accounts, and he cannot access it. For the life of him, he can't figure it out. And I think this guy in particular, the last article I saw, he was like, he kind of made peace with the fact that he's never gonna have access to his millions of dollars.
Can't people hack it? Isn't that?
He doesn't
Could
know.
that be
He doesn't know the name.
a
Like I think
possibility?
back then, with cryptocurrency was in its infancy, I think they didn't really. It wasn't like your social security was involved. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a login you created. You just made a little fake username
And you
and
couldn't reset
password,
your
and then
password?
that was it. He doesn't remember what it is. He doesn't know what
But
his
you could
username
reset
is.
it.
He doesn't know what it is.
Oh,
He doesn't know what any of that
God.
information is.
How the hell do you forget that?
He forgot. He forgot.
Write that shit down.
He probably did, and he threw it out with the other guy who's searching through the dump.
I hope he finds that guy's user password. At least they can help each other out and look through the trash together.
Maybe they should. But I don't know how you make peace with that. Losing millions of dollars. I
Well,
hope he has a good job.
Well, I mean, is cryptocurrency for rich people? How do you have
No.
$20,000 for just one Bitcoin? You have to have money.
Well, now it's $20,000, but back then, it was 25 cents, right?
But how could you obviously? How could you possibly know? Blah blah blah. That's the point. But
Well, that's the thing. You don't
but
really
if
know.
you wanted to get Bitcoin now,
Yeah.
it's average person can't afford
You could.
Bitcoin.
You can't buy. I mean, you can. You can buy one Bitcoin for $20,000, but that's not really how you invest now into it. You're going to be buying a fraction of it. You're going to buy a piece of that one. So you're going to own a 64th of it if you invest a few $100, Because we have friends that do that. They're constantly investing. I was just talking to one of my coworkers. His portfolio's at like $1,300, and he invested like $600 or $700 into it because his coins and his cryptocurrencies that he's putting money into are going up. So that's it's kind of where he's at right now, and that's how you do it. You just buy little fractions, you buy little pieces of it. You just say, okay, I want to invest $300 into it while it's at this price. And then
but
if
so
it goes up from there, then that means your money is worth more. If it goes down, then your money is worth less.
But then it's not really about Bitcoin. It's just investing in Bitcoin.
It's just investing.
That's
All
the
it
point
is
of
is
it.
investing.
That's the point. Okay.
Yeah. You never know. It's about investing takes time. It's money. It's
It's a
money. Like if you're
confusing
gonna put
thing.
money into like cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, don't plan on seeing that money again for a long time.
Well, the point of investing is putting the money somewhere, and you're never gonna take it.
Yeah, that's the retirement. Now you take it out if it goes up to a substantial amount. Then you don't have a choice. You want millions of dollars, or do you want to keep having this portfolio? I take the $1 million.
I mean, again, you have to have money to do stuff like that.
And you gotta have some sort of
And it's hard to get to know what you're doing. Like, obviously, a lot of people don't know what they're doing. They're kind of just putting their money somewhere. Hopefully, it works out. Hopefully, it does. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I don't know. I don't think I mean, I know you could hire people to tell you what's a good investment, what's not a good investment. But me personally, I don't see myself investing in something just because, like, I don't know how it works. I don't know, what to invest in, what not to invest in. Or, like, I wouldn't be able to afford someone who could show me or to tell me, okay, put your money here. A financial advisor, I guess, to tell me. Like, I wouldn't be able to afford something like that. An average person can afford something like that.
Yeah, you're saying you can't afford the risk, right? The risk of losing that money.
Well, that's part
you
of
invested
it.
it and then it drops and then you lost the money, right?
Well, that's part of it, yeah. I don't
Sure.
know.
Yeah, I mean, because if you don't know what to put your money into, then yeah, obviously it's a little shady. It's like gambling. It's like putting your money in a slot machine. Hopefully it works out. But like if you know what you're looking at, because like these companies are or these coins, a lot of them are backed by companies, like ETH that's backed by Ethereum, which is I don't know what kind of company it is. I kind of forgot, but I want to think it's some sort of tech company. And yeah, Ethereum. That's why it's as Ethereum, the company does better, the coin does better, its value is worth more. So some of them you can have a pretty good educated guess on whether it's going to go up or down. It's like when weed became legalized and there was weed stocks. All of a sudden, it was kind of a good idea to invest in some weed stocks, especially when they were out. Yeah, there definitely is. There's a lot. And I have friends that invested in weed stocks when they're at like 15, 25 cents a stock, and now they're at a few bucks a stock. And that investment, when you put in a few $100s into it, your money's worth a lot when it jumps up that high.
Oh, California. Now finally legal for weed. Isn't it grand?
Most of the country's getting that way now.
Well, I mean, hopefully.
I
don't know.
It's a plant.
Initially, when weed was, I guess taboo, I didn't think it was, I don't know. I was, I guess, a goody two shoes when I was younger, in high school, middle school, whenever. And I thought it was bad for you. Like, obviously, smoke hurts your lungs, like how they basically said cigarettes are bad for you. I thought it was like weed was like the same thing. So I was like, whoa, like, oh, that guy's a pothead? Like
what
stay
a
away
degenerate.
from that. Stay away from that guy.
That's a bad fellow.
Like
he was smoking a marijuana joint.
Like if we went to high school together, I'd be like, oh no, that's the pothead kid. Get away from that guy. He's no good.
I will not confirm or deny that I was a deeply a stoner when I was younger.
You're deeply a stoner?
Deeply a stoner. I experimented with 1 or 2 marijuanas.
Oh, okay. But like I said, I was a goody two shoes. I didn't think it was, I don't know. I thought it was really bad for you, for one. I thought it was a harsh drug, I guess you could say. I didn't know enough about it, but I just knew, smoke, like cigarette smoke, bad for your lungs. So I won't do it. You shouldn't do it. No one should be doing it. No kids should be doing it. So it's like growing up, I didn't,
I think tobacco,
I thought it was bad.
Tobacco, the plant itself, when you smoke it, is not as bad as actually smoking a cigarette, because it's just so much chemicals and embalming fluid and all this crap that the tobacco companies put into it that make it bad for you. Then they add nicotine and all that fun stuff. Or is nicotine part of the tobacco? I don't know. But they make it incredibly addictive to keep you smoking.
Yeah.
And that is kind of like the bad point of tobacco. Was all the shit that the companies add to it.
But those like pictures, like the before and after of good healthy lungs, and then your lungs on cigarettes, your lungs on cigars.
Oh yeah, those are terrible.
I mean, like just the look of that, I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to die.
I don't know what like the average stoner's lungs look like compared to like somebody who smokes a half a pack or a pack a day. I'm sure the half a pack or pack a day guy is doing fucking way worse than the guy that smokes a little pot. I just feel like that it has to be. It has to be way worse.
I know I've seen those pictures where it's like the healthy versus the cigarette.
If you smoke weed, I don't think your lungs are going to be perfectly pink as they're supposed to be, but obviously I think it's going to be better than the cigarette smoker.
I'm trying to find a picture of like what your lungs look like on weed, but I don't think this is a correct picture. It looks like a picture of weed. I'm pretty sure this is a picture of weed. Look at that one.
Nugget. Yeah, it's just a nugget of weed. Shaped like your lungs.
Shaped like lungs. It's just like if you zoom in, you could definitely see like the plant.
Yeah, that's Willie Nelson's lungs right there.
That's Willie Nelson's lungs. I'm trying to find a picture, but it just says, oh wait. Maybe this? No, this is cannabis vaporizer. I don't know. I don't know if that's any good.
Yeah.
This doesn't look right. Well, I mean, if you could find a decent picture, send it. Like, what a obviously the healthy set of lungs next to like a stoner's lungs. I would really appreciate if someone could find a decent picture of what the difference is. Yeah. Because, like I said, growing up, I just like, oh no, stoners are bad. Mostly just because I don't want to fucking die. I was like, no, cigarettes are bad. You're going to get cancer. And, same thing with weed. But I obviously, like I said, I was a goody two shoes. I didn't drink in high school, anything like that, or smoked, anything like that, So sheltered, as well as being afraid to fuck up my body. That was like what made me stay away from that. And plus I didn't hang around with anybody who did stuff like that. Yeah,
you weren't part of the cool kids smoking cigarettes before school.
Well,
right off campus, but still in sight of campus, so all the security guards know, like, yeah, I saw those kids smoking those cigarettes.
Well, I've never even seen kids even smoke a cigarette at school. I've probably seen like kids who are already high at school.
That's because you weren't part of those groups.
I'm not. Well,
because I in my school in particular,
you could walk by somebody.
You could, yeah. In my school in particular, there was an apartment complex kind of across the street, and in the apartment complex there was like a bench near the front office, and it was always closed in the morning before school. The front office was, so there was always like a group of like 7 or 8 kids that were over there smoking cigarettes, using that bench.
That was the smoker's bench.
There's also like people would go behind like the track. There was like a shed and some bushes and trees over there, and there was always kids smoking over there. But those kids tend to get caught because it's kind of hard to walk across a field and not get noticed.
That's
but hey, when you're a kid and you never really cared.
Well, you're just trying to find a good place to hide, obviously.
You just wanted to smoke some cigarettes and look cool, dude.
When did you start smoking? Well, did you start
cigarettes?
Did you start smoking cigarettes first, or weed?
I smoked weed first, so for sure. I didn't smoke. Only time I really smoked cigarettes was when I was going to bars. And it was more like a social cigarette. It wasn't like I never woke up and was like, fuck, I need a cigarette. Or I never ate food and had to go smoke right after, like a lot of people do. It was just like when I was drinking and all my buddies were going outside to smoke a cigarette outside. It was like, I could use some fresh air. Go out there and then fill my lungs with some cigarette smoke, you know?
Secondhand.
So, like, I'll just smoke outside.
So you just did it because other people were doing it?
Not really. It was just more like a social thing. It was like everybody standing around smoking a cigarette. So, I mean, I guess because of everybody else doing it. But I never felt like pressured into it. It was just more like, let me have a smoke, dude.
I don't want to be the only one left inside the bar just sitting there.
Yeah, I don't want to wait for the whole table to come back. So that's kind of where it was. And then it was like, I hung out in a room with some buddies. In my early 20s. Late teens, early 20s, would all hang out at my buddy Andy's room, and there would be a big old crowd of us in there, and half of them were smoking cigarettes. So it was just kind of like, the room was already hotboxed, so it just became a thing. But I never felt like addicted to it. I was never like, I needed a cigarette. I really want a cigarette.
But you started smoking weed first.
Yeah.
And how old were you, do you think?
I don't know. First puff, probably like 14 or 15. I don't think I smoked weed. I don't think I became a stoner until I was like 18, 17 or 18, maybe 19.
And when did you smoke like your first cigarette?
I don't know, maybe 19. No, probably early. I think I smoked a cigarette when I was like 16, just to try it.
So around the same time, pretty much.
But,
then.
Yeah. Yeah, but, then I smoked a fair share of marijuana back in the day.
See, I never did anything like that. But since you were, so you would say you were more into weed than you were smoking cigarettes then?
Yeah, definitely.
And all your friends did the same thing? Or was...
Nah, everybody smoked at some point. I don't want to call out any names, but everybody...
No, I'm not saying you had to hey, Lisa and Tyler were all smoking at the age of 16. Like, no. I'm
No,
not telling you to
everybody
put everyone on
at
blast.
some point was smoking cigarettes. Everyone was buying cigarettes. I think for a lot of us, if you were drinking by the time you were 18 years old, when you turn 18, you definitely bought a pack of cigarette for your first time. You know, now it's like 21. I think you have to be 21 to buy. But yeah, I definitely think back then, especially, it was kind of like a rite of passage. Like, oh, bought a pack of cigarettes. You know, whether you smoked them all or not.
You
You know,
just bought
I
them
think
because you're old enough to buy
yeah,
them.
like I think I bought lottery tickets and cigarettes like when I turned 18 just because I could. And I think it was more funny for me because I was actually buying like alcohol from that liquor store that I went to for a long time for a few months after we moved into that apartment. Um
I think you told me once that you were underage buying liquor because the guy just assumed you were of age, and then eventually, hey, here's my ID,
yeah,
and you're
that
like, oh
that's
fucker, you're 21 now. You barely just 21 now.
that was when I was going to a bar. I was actually going
Oh, a
to
bar. I thought it was a liquor
yeah.
store.
No, we were going to a bar for a few years. Me and a few of my buddies, and I don't think any of us were 20. There might have been one of us that was over 21. But we would kind of go there like not all the time, but we would go there frequently
Like
enough to
16
where
or something.
not
18?
16.
18?
No, I was probably like 19.
Oh.
But we would go there frequently enough to where the bartender knew us, and she never carded us or anything. You know, we'll go there and play pool. Like I don't think any of us had money to be really drinking heavily at the bar, so we would kind of pregame at the apartment and or at my friend's place, and then we'll go over to the bar and hang out and play pool, and you know maybe have a few more drinks, maybe have some shots that we didn't have back at home. You know that sort of thing. And yeah, eventually my 21st birthday came around, so I went back to the bar and told Kay the
Slapped your
bartender.
ID on the bar.
I
and
let her know. I was like, "Hey, Kay, it's my birthday. I'm 21," and she was like, "Oh, you motherfucker," because I've been going there. I knew her for a couple of years at least.
I mean, how do you not know? Like, how do you not? I mean, I don't
They just
know.
never checked. I think
How do you not ID at least
they
once?
didn't really check that much back then. I think yeah, you for sure would get in trouble if you didn't check, but it was like there's less chance of getting in trouble. I think now, like your place is like you're gonna be in serious trouble if you don't check. You sell to somebody underage or you don't check their ID. I think
Well, you
they
could shut you. They could shut you down.
they'll shut you down. Yeah, so you lose your whole business. But I think back then maybe not so much. It wasn't as big of a deal, or at least there wasn't as big of a risk, especially when in a dingy little dive bar that we were going to, where it was probably a little sketchy to be in there in the first place. Because that was a beat up corner. Let me tell you, that was a
Yeah.
broken down like a parking lot full of potholes. You know, the lines have not been painted in a while. There was a thrift store right next door and some clothing place that nobody in their right mind would step into. And then there's a little dive bar. Also, a really good Mexican food place on the corner, a little bit of ways. Bomb Mexican food, let me tell you. But
I waited until. No, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I had like a couple like sips of like alcohol or something. Like my dad would be like, "Hey, you want to see what it tastes like?" And like a couple sips here and there, but I never had like a
a
full
glass.
drink,
Yeah.
cocktail,
An
or
alcoholic beverage to yourself.
eat at home or at a bar or anything like that. Like I never. I think I wasn't really interested. I was like, well, I know what it since I had tasted it. Like like I said, your cousin or whoever it would be like, hey, you want to know what this tastes like? Oh, do you want to try the shot? And I'd be like, fuck, this is disgusting. Why do people fucking drink? So it's like I waited until 21 because like this is just like I don't understand why people are dying to fucking drink alcohol before they're 21. It's not tasty.
And it wasn't about the taste.
I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Like for me, I didn't even like it enough to even try to get drunk off of it
Sure.
initially. But anyway, I waited until I was like 21 until I had like a full beverage. And
Whole
even
beverage
then,
to yourself.
even then, like from the beginning, I hated beer. Hated beer. I'm still not a big fan of beer, but I like hated beer. I just felt like I don't know. It's just like Or maybe it was a type of beer. Like, it just tasted like fucking piss to me. Like, certain beers taste like fucking piss. Like, it's like it has a hint of like something, but it's just like bubbly, like bland. I don't know. Piss fucking beer. So I would stick to like mixed drinks or like those like cocktail cans or whatever it's called. The mixed drinks are like margarita. You know, just blend it in a fucking blender.
Of course. Yeah, when I first started drinking, I didn't like beer. I don't think anybody like takes a sip of beer and they're like, "Oh man, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life." I think you like beer after you've had a few beers. You know, if it's a really warm day, you got done mowing the lawn, there's nothing better than a beer. But you know, it's like, but yeah, your first beer, never good. Nobody ever likes their first beer. My brother's first beer, his dumb friends bought him a Guinness, you know, and I don't want to insult any Guinness fans, you know, because I can appreciate Guinness. Yeah.
That's a thick, strong.
It's the eggnog of beers.
I guess so.
It's thick and kind of creamy, but it's a little bit bitter, you know. But I mean,
you have to develop that. You can't just have that as your first.
Yeah, as your first drink, giving somebody a sort of bitter beverage is not like
dark.
It's not
beer.
You know, not preferred. You don't want to do that. Just give him some tasty, you know. So now all he really likes, I think, is like ciders almost. What are they called? It's like Angry Orchard and
hard cider.
Reds.
Hard cider.
Yeah. So he's kind of like into those fruitier drinks.
That just means you don't like beer at all.
Yeah, he doesn't. He does not. I blame his friends.
Yeah.
I think the only shots he'll take is like a Fireball too, just because it has like that cinnamon taste. So it's not.
I fucking hate Fireball.
Well, you don't like cinnamon, right?
Yes, but it's fucking disgusting.
Well, that's why. It's just all cinnamon. It's cinnamon and
cinnamon.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It's not like, that's a nice cold glass of Fireball. Like
nobody
one says
pours
that.
a glass
No
of
one
Fireball.
says that.
That's because like who does that? Nobody's like, you know, they're settling down with their cigar.
Like, yeah, let's get some Fireball. Let's party. I'm like,
who are those guys?
Some people do, but it's like, I don't know those people, but some people do. It's like, oh yeah, let's start off with some Fireball shots. Brings a bottle of Fireball to like someone's house, you know, for a party or some shit. I'm like, don't you dare bring a fucking bottle of Fireball to my
I wouldn't mind. I would drink it.
It's disgusting.
I mean, it's not terrible. No, I don't think it's disgusting. But I like cinnamon. I like cinnamon. You know, but it's not my preferred thing. I don't think I've ever bought a Fireball for myself. I've never ordered Fireball shots, you know. But if somebody brought Fireball, I'd drink it.
Do you think you could sit there, have a well, okay, answer this. Do you think you could only have shots of it? Or do you think you could sit down with like a glass? You know, like
no, I don't think you're supposed to sit there with a glass of that. It's too spicy on the tongue. It's like chewing some Big Reds.
That's why. If you can enjoy the drink, why drink it? You're not, if it's
that's
not
almost all alcohol, right?
No. Some people could fucking. There's certain types of alcohol. Well, there's a lot of different kinds of alcohol, but where you could put a fucking ice cube in your glass, pour some of it, and just drink it. You know, casually. You know, when you get home after work or some shit.
That's what I do with my whiskey, my Jameson.
He turns around to look at his bottle of
Gotta make sure it's still there.
He's like, yeah, I'm talking about you.
There it is. Is it too early to drink?
I mean, technically you could have, but that's what I'm saying. You can't sit
here. Nobody does that. I think Fireball is supposed to be part of like a mixed drink, right? You're supposed to put that with some other stuff.
Are you?
I'm sure.
What do you mix it with?
Yeah, because like, I don't know. But like, it's the same thing as like Malibu. Like, people don't normally like coconut fucking vodka, right? But like, you mix some Malibu with you know, pineapple juice or something.
Well, that's mostly
you
for
make
cocktails.
Make a good old pina colada out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just drinking spicy coconut water.
It's not spicy. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. If you guys like it, go right ahead, but don't bring it to my fucking apartment.
Don't ever talk about Fireball with her.
No, don't bring it up.
You bring it up, that's it.
Getting kicked out.
It's not happening.
I think, I don't know. I don't necessarily have a alcohol where I could sit down with a glass of it and just sip it like that, like a straight alcohol like that.
I think you have to train yourself for that, right? I mean, it's like building a palate. Like when I first started drinking whiskey, like it was very harsh, very
yeah.
like, like
Oh
you
yeah.
take a shot of it and you gotta cringe for 10 seconds, But now it's like, it got to the point though when I was drinking it, like I had a moment where I was trying to teach myself to have that taste because I heard that it was an acquired taste. So I was trying to develop my palate to like it, and I actually did. I started like really appreciating the taste of like Jameson and stuff, and plus, got me drunk too at the same time. So what was wrong with that? I even bought like this little sphere thing that would fill with water, and it sucked. It only filled up like halfway, so the ice cube would be like malformed. But hey, it looked pretty cool, right? And I'll pour my whiskey inside of that cup with my little ball of ice.
Half ball.
I was super fancy. I was very fancy.
Ooh.
And then I'll watch Peaky Blinders and drink every time they drink, which is a lot. It's a dangerous game.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's an acquired thing. I'm not at that stage. I don't know if I'll ever be at that stage. But my drink would probably be like a pineapple vodka and pineapple or some shit, or pineapple and rum. Yeah, it's hard drinking those by itself, and I'm not that big a fan of of beer. There's some beers that I'm like, okay, I'll sit here and I'll drink it if that's the only thing that's here. But I would say if I could pick any drink, it'd be something like that. It'd be pineapple juice and like vodka, pineapple juice and like rum or something like that.
Sure, I can see that.
Your go-to is Jameson.
Yeah,
on the rocks, pretty much, right?
Kind of on the rocks. Sometimes I like toss a little ginger ale in it.
Oh, that's right.
Spice things up a bit, Get a little change of pace. I do like what is it called? Old fashions. Old fashions. So you gotta get some bitters in there.
What is that one again? It's old fashioned has what?
It has like a bitter in it. They always throw like a little alcoholic cherry or something in it too.
Yeah.
And then like some citrus, but like it basically like all it does is like.
What's the base?
It's just whiskey.
Oh, it's whiskey.
Yeah, it's whiskey.
Oh, okay.
So like all it does is it like you still taste the whiskey, but it takes the kick out of it. Like I think that's kind of I'm pretty sure
it's
like
a strong drink still.
It's strong because like the taste, right? Like the taste of whiskey is strong.
I feel
itself,
like it's just
but
a
it takes the
fancier
kick
shot.
Out.
It's like a slightly fancier shot.
I just feel like it takes the kick, so it makes it to where like you don't have to sit there and go ooh, if you're not used to it, Instead you just drink it and you're like, oh, that's whiskey. That's whiskey. As somebody who likes the taste of whiskey, I enjoy it. I really like it.
I'm not a fan, just because it's just so.
I love a good old fashioned.
So strong. I tried, especially when I first started drinking. I tried to taste a little bit of everything. I don't know if I have yet, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I have tried tequila. I have tried whiskey, vodka. And then after I'm Hispanic. Mexican, and so like the drink around my family's house was tequila. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm Mexican, I should drink tequila. Not saying that that's the only thing I should drink, but I'm like, well, you know what, I should probably try to acquire this taste. And I tried. Not saying I had it every day or every moment I could, but it's just like,
nobody likes tequila. It's just what you trick your mind into accepting.
It's just so harsh. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe that makes me not Mexican then. Maybe I don't really qualify.
My problem with tequila is it just always gives me a headache. It always, like, gives me a hangover. If I drink whiskey, like, if I have enough, I'll get a hangover, but it's not, like, a guaranteed, headache. But with, like, tequila, it's like, if I have a couple of shots of tequila, it's like, I'm for sure having a headache, and it might start tonight.
And there's different kinds. Like, obviously, there's cheaper versions and there's more expensive versions. So
that
it's
probably
like,
plays a part.
I'm sure it does, but it's like, I probably haven't tried, a lot of expensive ones where, oh, this is supposed to taste really good. Oh, it doesn't burn. Oh, it has a better. Every time someone says it to me, like my dad, for example, he really likes tequila, so he has a bunch of different kinds of expensive to cheap. So when he gets a brand new fancier bottle, he's like, "Oh, this one doesn't feel like that. This one's not doesn't it's smooth, but it's like not smooth."
Tastes the exact same.
It tastes the exact same. So
Does
it's
the
like
exact same thing. It's just a fancy bottle.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, man, this will never get better. Tequila's never going to get better no matter how fancy it is. It's just tequila. So it's like, so then
I don't know. You're upsetting a lot of people right now. You're upsetting everybody.
This is my palate, okay? This is my palate. Don't even try.
You're saying some real controversies.
Oh, please. Anyway, so I don't know. No matter what, it's just gonna. It's not for me. I figured out it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And so it's like I kind of like vodka. I don't know. So, like if we were taking shots, I would probably take a shot of vodka.
Ugh. Vodka's gross. I don't like clear liquors. Vodka tastes like rubbing alcohol. Right? You smell it. They smell the same.
All alcohol smells and tastes like rubbing alcohol.
No.
And it feels
How
like
dare
rubbing
you.
alcohol coming down. It burns your throat. It makes your chest warm. It makes your belly warm. Like it's just you
feels
feel
good.
it. You feel it sitting in there.
Yeah,
just
then you
bubbling.
start dancing to some music.
It's just bubbling in your gut after you finally take that shot.
I always wanted to get trapped in an avalanche. So one of those big fuzzy dogs would come dig me out and bring me some whiskey.
Oh, Saint Bernard.
Or what do they bring you? Scotch or something? They bring you something. I don't know if they do anymore, but they used to.
They don't bring you alcohol. Their job isn't to bring you alcohol.
Yeah, it is. They had a little barrel on their chest,
It's
and
a
it was like
little first aid.
it has a little
thing.
first aid kit, and it has some alcohol for you to drink. So that because the thought was, oh, it'll warm up your body. It'll make you feel warm, right? It doesn't actually warm up your body. I think they figured that out at some point. I don't know. I just remember hearing about it. Like they used to like bring you the alcohol and stuff, and
I didn't know they brought alcohol.
Yeah, and then until like the person came to save you, until they got to you, So like whatever will help warm up your body. But now I imagine it's better just to have little heat packs, little hand warmers and shit.
How is it that the dog finds you first before someone else does?
He's sniffing around. He's got his big old nose. He's just out there. He's just smelling for somebody, and then he finds you. He's so stoked. You pet him. He digs you out. You're upside down. You pour some alcohol down your throat. You feel good.
Pour some alcohol.
You're having a good time.
Down your throat.
And he's huge and fluffy and happy.
Oh, they're huge. Well,
he's licking your face.
Well, it's funny how you brought that up. It's because the other day, I sent a picture to my friends of a little baby Saint Bernard, and the owner I bought him a little barrel, and he put it over his neck or whatever to hang. And I thought it was so cute because he was still a puppy. So I was like, oh, how cute. And my friends were like, well, why does he have a barrel? I'm like, you never seen that? Like, that's what they're kind of known for.
It's a classic thing. They have little barrels.
They have little barrels with a little, first aid, cross on it. I'm like...
We're going to get a St. Bernard, and he'll carry his treats in his little barrel.
His own treats? How do you just have to fish him out?
We have to give them to him, when he's a good boy. We'll have them there ready.
Oh, well, they didn't know. I was like, oh, you never seen that before? And so I had forwarded them pictures of, online of, Saint Bernard, boom, right there at the little barrel.
Yeah, I imagine that's like the first image that comes up. I don't know how they never seen that.
I know. I was like, you never seen a Saint Bernard with that? Like, I don't know. I was just.
He was in all the cartoons too. Whenever they drew a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, with a little barrel.
Cute little guys.
They're really friendly and soft, and they're big dogs. They're big,
they're huge,
big dogs.
If we ever lived in the
furry,
in the snow,
furry.
Then we'd get a Saint Bernard. I feel like that, same thing with huskies. Like you don't want to bring a husky in Southern California weather,
or in a desert area or something like that.
So once you live in some snow, then you can get your big furry dog. Otherwise, they're just going to be hot.
Yeah.
Poor little guy. You need to get him a bucket of ice to lay in.
I've actually seen that.
Me too.
Where there's like a little kiddie pool and they fill it with buckets and buckets of ice.
Yeah.
And then the husky's just sitting, laying in there and like,
having a good old time.
This is nice.
Like, finally, I'm not overheating. Why did we move to Arizona, Kathy?
Oh gosh. Wait, we were talking about alcohol. How did we get? Oh, the
St.
barrel.
Bernard's.
Alcohol barrel.
Yeah. Any schnoot.
Speaking of dogs, we have a dog ourselves.
We do.
We have a German Shepherd. She's only a year old.
She's huge.
She's pretty. Well,
She was only a puppy for a few months.
That's true. That they grow.
How disappointing. You get a puppy
so
and you're like,
quick.
dude, I'm so stoked to have a puppy. And then it's not a puppy anymore at all. Except
She's
for its
still-
brain.
She's still a puppy.
No,
Like,
she just has a puppy brain and a big old grown adult body.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. At what age are they not officially a puppy anymore?
Probably like 2.
2?
1.5, 2.
I don't know.
She might not even be a puppy now.
She was born in October. I don't know. It's been over a year now. Or in February, but I don't know. Well, we got her. She was our pandemic baby.
Yep.
Her name's Molly. She's a pain in the butt, that's for sure.
Yeah. But she listens. She listens. She just wants to be super protective.
She is very protective, and which is good and bad at the same time. We got I don't know, our biggest problems, I guess, with her are like basically whenever we take her outside, just because she's obviously used to us so much, she's just anyone who's outside is just like a danger, a stranger. So she just looks so vicious. She's growling right now, actually. It's like she knows we're talking about her.
Somebody walked by with a dog.
Oh. Well, there you go. So every time we take her outside or like she hears a noise outside, she's growling or she barks, she just anyone that's not us, she's just crazy. So
Yeah.
it sucks. It sucks. So
Well, it's just annoying to deal with. Like, because, I mean, she's not like a biter or anything, but, I mean, she's a big dog. It looks scary when a big dog is kind of barking at you. So it's like,
yeah.
and anybody who gets close to her, she's immediately like chill with them. She's
She
very
smells you.
submissive and
she pees on herself.
yeah.
She pees on herself. So it's like so for example, if I decided to take her out to pee, right? To go pee, poop, whatever. So I take her outside. If someone walks by us from a certain distance, she was barking at them like she's ready to attack them. Okay? Now me and him have both tried our best, and we've even had a trainer too. And it's sometimes we think it's gotten better, and then once we think, oh my god, I think she's getting better, and then she goes back down. She's gotten worse again. Anyway, so but like if for instance, if our friends, okay, we decided to have friends over or something, well, for one, she pees on herself, so we have to like take her outside whenever someone comes over to go greet them outside now. So that's like one of the two things that happens now, other than the barking excessively.
Of course.
So we take her outside. They come towards us. She's barking at them like she's never seen them before. She's barking at them, like I said, acting like she's gonna attack them. And then they know her, so they're like, "Oh, hi, Molly, hi!" And then she gets closer, and then she like smells them finally, and she gets over. And then all of a sudden, oh, okay, you're cool, and she pisses herself because she's like being submissive or whatever.
I feel like she does that less now.
She's
kind of growing out of it. Like, it's like, it'll be a tiny bit when before it was like, oh, you just peed a lot.
She peed all like a puddle.
Yeah, and now it's just like dribbles. Last time I brought somebody in.
I don't know. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't remember at what stage her peeing is now. But yeah, that's basically what happened. What would happen? She'd bark at them like crazy. When she'd get close and they get close enough and pet her or whatever, she'd stop barking, pee herself. Then she'd be like kind of cool with it, and then we walk over to the apartment or whatever. And so like that's like, so it's like when you're a stranger who's just walking by themselves just to pass us, they're freaking out. I've seen somebody stop in their tracks and wait because they see that I'm with my dog. My dog hasn't seen them yet, so they're not barking yet. So they literally stop where they're walking so that I can move away. So it's like upsetting. It's like I don't want people to be afraid of my dog. My dog is a very sweet dog. At least, I mean, at least for us and the people that we let into the apartment, she's very sweet. All she wants to do is play. She's never bit anyone, at least not yet. Knock on wood. But I mean, God forbid that ever happens. Oh my God, I wouldn't even know what to do. But I don't know. She's a very sweet dog.
I don't think she's a biter. I don't think she's gonna bite anybody.
I hope not. I just don't want her.
She's just loud. She's loud. She's nervous, so she tries to make you afraid. Like if you came, if she's barking at you and then you ran up to her, like she'd probably maybe she'd bite you. And if you're gonna be running up at a barking dog anyways, maybe you deserve to get bit. I don't know. Maybe that's a little controversial, but
I just don't want people to be afraid of my dog because my dog is a sweet dog. She's a sweet dog. She's just not used to people, so she thinks everyone's a threat. She's trying to protect me. She's trying to protect him, and I don't know. I just wish she was more friendly
we got
outside.
To be consistent with her
and dogs. Oh my God! If you're with your dog outside, forget it. She scratched me because I'm trying to yank her away from the dog or try to distract her, kind of turn her away, and she's jumping up at the same time as I'm pulling up, and she scratches down my leg on the way down. Oh my God, it's so stressful. It's so stressful. And again, we've had a trainer to granted we still need to follow up with training her regardless, but I don't know, like I said, just once we see that there's some progress, it's like it goes back down again. So it's like, how do you can't, well, I mean, she's really,
the thing is she's also at that age where she's being a little bit rebellious.
Adolescence, I guess.
Yeah, I remember looking it up, and German Shepherds, they kind of go through that phase, and this is it, 1 to 2 years old, they kind of stop listening to their commands as much. They're being little rebels, so it's about just doubling down on her training and stuff, and for outside, I can distract her enough to where she's going to ignore people, but it takes work. It takes a lot of making sure she's going to listen to you and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just something we have to be very consistent over, and eventually she'll calm down. She'll relax. I don't think she's ever going to be the point where she's not going to growl at other dogs. She might, she may never even stop barking at other dogs, but we can get her to the point where she's going to not do that to people. She's just going to be alert. She'll always be alert whenever she sees somebody.
I wish that she thinks, or she gets to the point where if she sees someone, she wants them to pet her. She wants them to play with her.
Yeah, I just don't think she's going to be that type of dog.
I mean, I wish I could. I want her to think, at least wag her tail when she sees someone crosses our path or something. She doesn't have to go up to them and smell them and, pretend like they have a ball in their hand or anything. It's just or look at them, wag their tail, ooh, these are people, different people.
Yeah. I mean, she's just a guardian dog, so I think for most guardian dogs, they're never going to be stoked to see somebody. They're just going to be a little bit cautious, a little bit nervous.
And at our plate apartments, dude, there's this guy who has 2 German Shepherds, and he walks them around. All around here, and I get so jealous because they're so well behaved. I don't know how old those dogs are, but they're
Have you ever walked right next to them though?
By myself, not with the dog. Not next to them. No, I probably like crossed before they got to me or something, or I'm
Yeah.
behind them or something like that. But they are so well behaved. They're so sweet. They don't bark at people, and I'm jealous because I want my dog to get to that point too. But I don't know. I wish.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to get our dog with a trainer again, for sure. I mean, I don't know. If you guys have issues or you guys have any tricks or something like that, like that could help, because our dog trainer suggested the collar, the I guess the shock collar. I don't know what the correct word for it is, but but you have the remote, right? It's not like it shocks every time she barks or anything like that. You have a remote, so you're controlling it. So, I mean, if you guys have something better, I've seen like other tricks, but I don't know. We need to definitely go to our trainer again and see what else he could do. My main concern, right, as well as yours, is for it to not bite somebody.
Yep.
I don't want it to get to a point where she bites somebody, because then what's going to
To
happen?
bite anybody.
What's going to happen when she bites somebody? That's not... We're going to have to put her down. We're going to have to put her down. And she's a year old. That would be so upsetting. A puppy being put down.
Yeah.
So
we got to avoid that with training.
So I just don't want her to bark at other people. Period. I just want her to look at them and be okay with it. If she could get to that point, I'd be happy. Again, she's only a year old. We're still learning. She's still learning. She's in her adolescent stage. Sometimes she listens. Sometimes she doesn't. Even when she's in the house, sometimes she doesn't even listen. She sits. We tell her to sit. She like stares at us. Yeah. I'm like, sit. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll sit. And then she finally sits. She knows the fucking command, but she's just not doing it now.
Yeah. That's all right. Well, all right, guys. That's going to do it for the first episode. The first official episode of Life on Mute. Again, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Marlena. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm so excited. I'm glad you guys decided to click and listen.
Join us on this journey.
Yes. Again, send us an email. We have a Gmail, Life on Mute Podcast. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Find us on all of those places. Life on Mute Podcast or Life on Mute Cast.
Our links are in the description to our social medias.
Yep. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.